Hi, it's Phil. March 17th, 2015. It is day 3 of my video diary, and here I am on the backdrop of my bedroom wall here, contemplating the things I should say to you today. Um, Let me say this. My head's a little burnt. I did a lot of paperwork today, especially around some of the government stuff that I'm working through with my leave and some other things. And it took a little bit of research, but I'm done. I'm completed. And unless they come back to me and say, you need to fix that, I think things are kosher, which is nice. Played some board games tonight, but I didn't fare too well because my head was spinning probably from the paperwork that I was doing. That's okay. I want to say to those of you who are dealing with sickness and the flu, and a friend of mine who is, wow, dealing with just the death of friends her age and that she's in her late 30s, uh, death of 3 friends and since the beginning of 2015. That's crazy. Um, I just, my condolences to you. You must feel really sad. And I'm thinking about you and praying for you. Um, I went through a spell like that in high school where 3 or 4 people that I knew passed away, and it had a profound effect on me. So I can only imagine, 3 friends. Wow. Anyway, so here we are. What do I want to talk to you about today? Um, I think the first thing I want to talk about is there are things in life that get in the way of really having a healthy lifestyle. Um, Poor choices, you can call them. And I mean, I'm not short of making poor choices. I think everybody makes them in life. The one thing I find is that they obviously can pose a distraction, and I'm talking about a variety of different things because it's different for everyone. For some, it's you binge eat or you isolate yourself from people whenever hard times hit, or you have an addiction such as gambling. You might be abusive in your anger. We all make some form of poor choice. We either, it could be gossiping or slandering, in your bitterness, right? It could be, yeah, taking advantage of people. It could be a lot of things, right? So here's the thing. Our hearts, our bodies are like a pot of soil. And the seeds we plant in our soil are our personality traits. In our actions and our behaviors, they water them. And so if we plant poor behaviors in ourselves, poor characteristic traits, like, the lying or slander or uh, binge eating or anger issues, neglect, treating people poorly one way or another, cheating, being dishonest, committing fraud, whatever our poor choices are, it is our actions, our thoughts, it waters them, and then they root in us. The more they root, the deeper the root grows, the worse the become behavior grows. And more complicated the behavior grows because the thing is, when something roots in us, we actually can find a way to make it more complicated, that we can make it more advanced, where we can take that behavior and do some crazy things with it. You know how they say, and I mean, this is such an extreme example, a serial killer doesn't start with just killing people. They usually start at a young age with certain anger issues, and then the anger issues become aggressive, and the aggression turns into hurting something like an animal, and then Then they kill an animal. That feels good. And next thing you know, they take it out on humans. Do you understand? There's a progression that happens with poor choices in our hearts. Like, for another example, is a person who learns how to lie on taxes, becomes more advanced and go, I can find different ways and loopholes, and water that in such a way where I can start cheating the government out of thousands or millions of dollars because of my knowledge of how to, commit fraud and how to lie to the government so they can't catch you. You know, like, you know, or bitterness. Imagine bitterness. It roots in your heart. I mean, it turns, maybe into like just a simple couple words here and there where, you make a person feel bad. But then it turns into some passive aggressive actions, where, behind people's backs, you tear them down. And the next thing you know, it's like maybe you're at work and you're trying to get people fired, or where they lose their income for their family. Like, any poor choice can turn bad. Addictions turn bad. People lose millions in gamblings. People overdose on drugs. You understand what I'm saying here? The thing is we always have to evaluate our lives for the choices we make, and to say what's rooting in our lives and how can we change that. Because what we want to plant in our hearts is kindness, love, charity, being sharing with others, all the positive traits, right? Imagine if those rooted in our lives and those roots grew deep. How much more would we cherish ourselves and community and our families when we start doing good things for one another, where we start caring for one another? And see, I know in my faith, that is what God is about. He wants to root those things on us so we're positive people, that we're people of love and care. And when we plan out our days, we think more about, how can we really benefit people today, whether it be friends or families or complete strangers. How can we give to people? How can I spend quality time with my family? Something to ponder, something to think about. I know it's important to me, and it's something that I'm constantly working on. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.